quick Russian mysterious videos that are so shocking to find online. I mean, there are a lot to discover if you get the time to go for research. I mean, do your research and try to find something. You can learn a lot online. So for that being the case, let's go ahead and start playing these videos for you.
With bears, from the most radioactive lake in the world to a child who allegedly came from Mars, there are 20 unsettling discoveries in Russia nobody can explain. Number 20. The most polluted spot in the world. If I ask you to guess what the most polluted and radioactive spot in the world is, what would you guess?
Deep within the Ural Mountains of Russia, Lake
Clear my guess.
Karachay is among the most beautiful sights in the world. However, this eerie lake is known as the most dangerous spot on the planet. Even standing near this lake is lethal. But just how did this lake become the most polluted and dangerous spot on Earth? It all started in the 1940s. Maya, a nuclear establishment producing plutonium, used the lake as a dumping ground for radioactive waste. This lasted from 1951 to 1953. The Mayak operated in absolute secrecy, and it was too late to stop them when their illicit activities were revealed. Continuous dumping made the lake a deadly hazard. By
And y'all think we don't think that this type of stuff is happening today? You really believe that this type of stuff, it just hasn't been revealed to us yet?
90, when the existence of Mayak was finally acknowledged, the surrounding region had already paid a heavy price. The residents of the Chelyabinsk area, located near the lake, suffered significantly from health issues, including a marked increase in cancer, birth defects, and leukemia cases. The Techa River, which provided water to nearby communities, became heavily contaminated, leading to widespread radiation sickness. One of the most chilling aspects of Lake Karachay's pollution is the lethal level of radioactivity at harbor. Reports from 1990 indicated that spending just an hour on its shore could deliver a fatal dose of radiation. This extreme danger led to decisive action. The lake was eventually filled with concrete and other materials to contain the radioactive sediment. Although this measure mitigated the immediate threat, concerns remain about the long-term environmental impact and the potential for radiation to disperse beyond the lake bed. Luckily, a $263 million project to clear up the mess in Lake Karachay had some success. However, the damage done in just several years could remain for years to come. In fact, even if Lake Karachay disappears, the land surrounding it will continue to be a hazard. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now. Number 19, elephant's foot. Since we're already on the topic of radioactivity, here's another example found in Russia. This one might already be familiar to some of you. This unknown mass is the elephant's foot. In the Chernobyl nuclear disaster of 1986, this unique and deadly formation was discovered within the ruins of Reactor 4. This mass was a solidified mixture of various materials, including nuclear fuel, sand, concrete, and other substances that had melted through the reactor's core and solidified in the facility's basement. The formation of the elephant's foot began shortly after the Chernobyl disaster. The core meltdown caused the zirconium coating of the control rods to melt, leading to a mixture of hot metal and uranium dioxide pellets. This combination then melted through parts of the reactor vessel, incorporating various materials along the way. The resulting hot radioactive lava flowed through the building, eventually ending up in the basement and forming the elephant's foot. Today, this is the most lethal thing found in Chernobyl. At the time of its discovery, the elephant's foot was extremely dangerous due to its high radioactivity. Initial measurements indicated radioactivity levels around 8,000 to 10,000 Roentgen per hour, making it lethal within a short exposure period. 5 minutes near the mass could deliver a fatal dose of radiation. Over time, the radiation intensity has decreased, but it still remains hazardous. Number 18.
Y'all see that, right? And what do we always say? History is doomed to repeat itself. Telling you, it just hasn't been revealed what they're doing yet. And it's not necessarily just Russia. It can be anywhere.
A dead Buddhist who walks around at night. Born in 1852 in Buryatia, Russia, Dashi Forjo Atigalov was a revered Buddhist Lama who lived a spiritual life in Tsarist Russia before the Bolshevik Revolution. He became the 12th Pandito Kambo Lama and was actively involved in Buddhist affairs until he died in 1927. However, it seems that death wouldn't stop his legacy. In 1927, he reportedly told his fellow monks that it was time for him to die and entered into a meditative state, the lotus position, and passed away. His final wish was to be buried in the position he died in. Astonishingly, when his remains were examined in 1955 and again in 1973, they showed no signs of decay, a condition that remained even when his body was exhumed in 2002. The preservation of his body was so profound that it was compared to the condition of someone who had died just 36 hours prior. This led to speculations ranging from natural mummification to the belief that he was in a state of hibernation or nirvana. But that's not the end of it. You see, several years after his death, other Buddhists claimed that he was supposedly moving inside the palace where his remains are kept. There were even images of the Buddhist allegedly moving around. These claims have sparked various interpretations and discussions, from spiritual insights to mere dismissals as optical illusions or misinterpretations. However, many believe that Atigalov's spirituality transcends the afterlife. Hence, he continues to profess his faith through apparitions, despite being long dead. Number 17. Bunker 42. You're looking at Bunker 42. This seemingly dystopian place is a historical site located in Moscow, Russia. As its name suggests, this place used to be a secret military complex, originally built as a response to the early threats of nuclear war with the United States during the Cold War era. The construction of Bunker 42 started in 1951. The bunker is situated a staggering 213 feet below ground and spans an area of about 75,000 square feet. This underground complex was built using techniques similar to those used in constructing the Moscow Metro and is connected to it by two tunnels. The
I
facility
always thought about that. How far below do you need to be able to survive an attack? You know, how far do you need to initially be down and start to build to give yourself a good buffer, as well as building a solid bunker that can withstand a blast or anything like that? So I've always got that toast. To hear them say that number, I wonder what feet they did to today for their bunkers. That was obviously 200 and something feet, but interesting.
operated as an emergency command post headquarters and was equipped with everything necessary to sustain life for a significant period during a nuclear attack. This included food, fuel, an air recycling system, and 2 artisan wells for clean drinking water. During the day, Bunker 42 could accommodate approximately 600 people living and working there for up to 30 days without outside assistance. In the 1960s, it was fully equipped to continue functioning in the event of a nuclear attack. Staff members at the facility were rotated every 24 hours to maintain alertness and prevent combat anxiety. With the fading threat of nuclear war and the economic challenges in the Soviet Union, the bunker fell into disuse and was eventually abandoned in the 1990s. In 2006, it was bought by a private company, Novik Service, for 65 million rubles and transformed into a museum. The bunker now serves as an educational and entertainment complex, offering visitors a glimpse into the tense atmosphere of the Cold War. If you're a history buff who likes spectating historical places in real life, then you might want to add this to your bucket list. Number 16. A monument to Enema. This is more bizarre than unsettling, but I believe this deserves to be mentioned. If you were to look at this statue, what do you think is being portrayed? Any guesses? This is the monument to Enemas, a humorous sculpture at the Mashuk Aquatherm Spa in Russia. Unveiled in 2008, this bronze monument depicts 3 cherubs carrying an enema. The monument's design was inspired by the Renaissance painter Sandro Botticelli, particularly his classic painting Venus and Mars. The artist, Svetlana Avakova, used this classic inspiration to tackle the subject with a blend of humor and irony, reflecting on the unpleasant nature of enemas, but portraying it lightheartedly. Now, I can't think of anywhere else you'd find a similar sculpture. Number 15.
That's sick, bro. That's somebody got a sick sense of humor, man. Are you kidding? I I was thinking about the little thing you squish and they stick into the kid's nose. It reminded me of that, the little suction thing everybody does when the kid got a little nasty nose. I was thinking about that, but and then to mix that and then the thought of an enema. Yeah, no thanks. Sick human being.
The Dancing Forest. The Dancing Forest in Russia, also known as the Curonian Spit, is a forest unlike any other. What makes this place unique is the oddly shaped pine trees, which appear to be contorted into various unusual forms, such as rings, hearts, and spirals. The exact cause behind the peculiar formation of these trees remains a mystery. Several theories have been proposed to explain this phenomenon. Some scientists believe that a combination of factors, including the strong winds in the area, unstable soil composition, and the specific genetic characteristics of the trees might be responsible for their strange shapes. Another theory suggests that the presence of underground water sources, or even seismic activities, could be influencing the tree growth patterns. The activity of the caterpillar of Rhizonia boreana has also been cited as a possible cause for the distortion of the trees. Beyond the scientific explanation, the Dancing Forest is steeped in local folklore and myths. One popular legend describes the forest as a battleground between good and evil, with the twisted trees representing the contorted bodies of fallen warriors. Other folklore suggests the presence of witches and sorcerer spirits in the forest, where they're said to have gathered for sinister rituals. No wonder that many people feel creeped out around this forest. Number 14. Badagaiket Crater. Discovered in the 1960s, the Badagaiket Crater has aptly been referred to as the gateway to hell, or the doorway to the underworld. This crater is a massive